17-year-old Clay lived in a penthouse with his parents. He was your ordinary teenager that enjoyed playing basketball and video games. His parents had a basketball court installed, so he could always stay focused on the sport. He had made All-City in San Myshuno last season. His father, Bryant, was a cop at the SMPD, and his mother, Halle, was a doctor at St. Sim Hospital. He was an only child, and his parents loved him dearly. His girlfriend, Teresa, attended the same private school as him and was on the girls' basketball team. There was a new vegan restaurant that opened, and it was the perfect date scene for Clay and Teresa. San Myshuno was a hectic city, filled with excitement and mystery. So much so that you never know who could be lurking around the corner. Clay and Teresa were at the gym. They had a game later on that night and they had to be physically ready for it. Clay enjoyed running, but he always preferred the punching bag. Before leaving for their game, they got in a quick game of their own, not realizing they had an audience. The holidays were right around the corner. Clay, Teresa and his parents went out to dinner to celebrate another successful basketball season. The holiday season was for kindness and joy, a chance to make someone's day brighter. Or even darker.
Scofa? Grusha Bombosa Anarb.
Jeremy, this was going to be interesting. Clay wanted to give Teresa a gift since her team ranked number 2 in the city. She was thankful. It was Christmas time and Halle was throwing a charity party for the hospital. Well, it was a good time while it lasted.
Yogs! Barma!
Jeremy saw the money on the table and disguised himself before sitting down. He wasn't after the money, he was after revenge. He blended in with the rest of the crowd and hid for the rest of the night. Teresa was about to leave when Clay wanted to give her one last thing. A diamond ring. Jeremy didn't approve. He hid beneath the staircase, waiting for an opportunity to present itself. And it did. Jeremy caught up to Teresa before she went to her brownstone apartment. He got straight to the point and told her that he needed help in talking to Clay. When Teresa asked why, he said it was because he was his twin brother. Teresa didn't believe him. That only angered him.
Harpne Skibero! Kankuya Osbook!
It was late, and she didn't want to argue with a crazy person anymore. She left to get help from someone, but she wasn't paying attention. This was not good. Teresa was reported missing, and Clay wasn't sure if she was dead or alive. He checked the news station every day, and his father had his whole team looking for her. It was New Year's Day, and Clay was scouring the missing persons list for anyone that may have had a lead. Teresa was alive, badly bruised, but very much alive. Jeremy scraped her up from off the ground and took her back to his home. He put her in the cage that was meant for Clay. It was not how things were supposed to go. All of San Myshuno were looking for her. Jeremy had to think of something, quick. The next day, Halle had received an email from an anonymous person telling her to meet them and to bring Clay as they had information on Teresa. She didn't know whether she could believe it, but the address was familiar to her. It's where she used to live with Bryant while she was pregnant. They had come a long way from that life. When Bryant came home, Halle had showed him the email to make sure it was accurate. He said it was, and they should check it out, as it may very well lead them to Teresa. They bought a duffel bag full of cash in case it was needed.
Vombo? Jarb?
Jeremy told Teresa not to say a word. They arrived at the apartment and went inside. When they went inside, they found Jeremy washing dishes in brown water. Halle spoke with him and wanted to know what he wanted. He said he wanted Clay's life. He should be living in the penthouse with loving parents instead of being tossed aside and thrown in the streets. Clay tried to talk to him, but Jeremy blurted out they were brothers. Twins. Clay got the cushy life, while Jeremy was tossed away when he was a day old. Bryant told Jeremy to shut up. Clay had a twin, but the baby didn't survive due to deformities. Jeremy wouldn't be quiet, and he barely survived. Halle listened as Jeremy told her that the doctor who delivered him kept him alive by using him for his experiments. He saw his deformities as an opportunity to advance through science. The problem is that he went too far and left Jeremy with an ugly scar and placed in foster care at only 10 years of age. Halle had no idea and was sorry that Jeremy had to go through that. She wants to make sure that he gets all the help that he deserves. After the cops came, Jeremy told Clay that Teresa was in the other room. Clay found Teresa crying and visibly shaken up. He promised that he would never let her out of his sight again. A few days later, the whole family brought Jeremy to Sunshine Farms Rehabilitation Center in Oasis Springs. Jeremy was sorry for the pain he had caused and was grateful that he had a family that cared. Or was he?